A Ferris wheel with a radius of 25 feet is rotating at a rate of 3 revolutions per minute. When t equals 0, a chair sits at the lowest point on the wheel, which is 5 feet above the ground. Write a model for height h and feet of the chair as a function of time, t in seconds. So let's visualize what's going on. We have a Ferris wheel which does circular movement. That Ferris wheel is sitting 5 feet above the ground. It has a radius of 25 feet, so that means the diameter is 50 feet. So that means the highest point that the Ferris wheel can go is 55 feet. So let's think about what's happening here visually. The lowest point it can go is 5 feet. The highest it can go is 55 feet. And it does 3 revolutions per minute. So that means 1 revolution is 20 seconds. So if we think about 20, 40, 60, if we want to see those 3 revolutions. At t equals 0, it's at its lowest point here. Then halfway through that period, it's going to hit the highest point of 55. Then it's going to rotate back down to 20, or at 20 seconds to 5 feet. Then it's going to rotate back up again to that highest point of 55, halfway through the next period, and then it's going to rotate back down at 40 seconds. Then it's going to rotate back up to that highest value in the middle of the period. It's going to come back down to the lowest value. So if I drew a curve through this, this is representing what your height is doing when you're on a Ferris wheel. So this is height, this is time. So I didn't tell you which type of trig function to use. I usually like to use cosine whenever possible. For some reason, it's just easier to me. So I can see this here would be a negative cosine, but if I start here at 10, which is halfway through, this is 1 full revolution of cosine. So in order to calculate this function, I need my amplitude, which is high minus low over 2, 55 minus 5 over 2, which is 25. The vertical shift is high plus low divided by 2, which is 60 over 2, which is 30. And we can see that 30 is about halfway through the middle here. And that's 25 from 55, and it's 25 from 5. Now, my period, all right? We already know our period is 20 seconds. So 20 equals 2 pi over b. So b equals 2 pi over 20, which is pi over 10. And if I'm starting at 10, I shift right 10. So that means we're going to be subtracting 10, not from x, from t. So now I have everything I need to set up my h function. H of t is a cosine function, and it's going to be 25 pi over 10, t minus 10, plus 30. And we could plug any time in there to see what your height would be from the ground.